And good evening. Welcome to Coach's Corner here at the Highlander Activity Center on the Highlander Activity Network. And you'll notice we have our new setup here, and I'm really excited about it. We have a new set for Coach's Corner here tonight, debuting. And we start things off with Coach Rebecca Erickson from the Highlander volleyball team. How you doing, Coach?
Good. How are you?
Well, not too bad. How do you like the new digs? I know you like the couch.
I like the couch better.
Well, last night, Fargo South came in losing in 4 sets. Let's talk about the good things. What I saw a lot of digging. Seemed like you had defensively back row for the most part did really well last night.
For the most part, we played really good defense, I think, and we did a good job of picking up tips because when we played them at Fargo South a couple weeks ago, I think 7 in a row in the 5th set, they tipped on us and they scored. So last night we committed to picking up the tips, which I think we did, but we struggled offensively.
And last night showed too how volleyball can be such a momentum sport.
Coca and I were literally talking about that today, how you can be up 5 points and then you look at the scoreboard, you're down 2. Like, it's all on momentum.
And is that one of those things that really this team needs to learn how to do, how to be that consistent?
We need to learn to be consistent. Yep. That's what it comes down to. Momentum-wise, if we're doing good things, we have the momentum. But obviously, if you're not doing good things, you're not going to have that momentum. So,
serve receive. Obviously, we were talking about the defense, but on serve receive, still room improvement in there with the last 2 matches to go.
Last night, serve receive was rough. It was for the first, I'd say 3. I'd say until like the middle of the 3rd set, our serve receive was hit or miss.
No pun intended.
Yeah, hit or miss. And then I think once we started passing well, everything else started to come into play. But I can't put it all on serve receive because we had some really good passes in the 1st and 2nd set, and offensively, we could not put the ball in the court. So, I mean, everything needs to come together at once. And right now we're doing one thing well and we're struggling with another, and we don't have it all together.
At the net, it seemed like you were getting some, with Addie. She's always going to be there and get her 4 or 5 blocks a night.
She had 5.5, I think, last night.
And you'll get, Avi Hughesby up front, and then Joey Borg and Dakota. So it looks like you're getting some defense up front. Do you feel that's a really good part of the game right now?
Yeah, we kind of talked about it in the locker room. I've noticed that we usually only have one middle we either have Hadley on or we have Addie on, and then we only have like one outside or one right side. We don't have everybody blocking really well together, but our goal is to just slow down the ball. So if I can get a touch on the block, I'll take it.
Last night, too, one thing I liked, we talked about momentum, but the players feed off the crowd. If you get the student section going, and last night, there was a lot going on, and I think the crowd really was getting into it there for a while.
Yeah, it was pretty loud in the gym for a while there. I agree.
And do the girls feed off that? Is that something?
Yes, they 100% do.
But you'd still like them to try to maybe not rely on the crowd.
Yes, we should have our own momentum as well. Yep.
3-1 was the final last night. Tough loss because you still have that outside shot that you could have got into that number 8 spot. But do you forget about that now and got Red River and Devil's Lake to go? We
technically might still be able to.
Okay.
Well, actually, no, I don't. Because if we were, it depends.
We'll have to wait and see.
We'll have to wait and see because if we beat Red River and we beat Devil's Lake,
right.
That's 2 wins. They play Fargo North and Shanley. So
2 losses, possibly.
Possibly 2 losses. We could possibly have 2 wins.
Yeah.
So that would put we're a game below them, so that we would be 1 ahead of them. So
is that something you don't really look at though right now, Rebecca?
Honestly, I'm not worried about it. Yeah. I think at the end of the day, we're going to end up playing them anyways for the play-in match, and I don't know if it really matters if we have a home game or an away game. I think we'll play how we play.
And you played almost better, I think, at South.
I would have to agree.
Because you had the 4th set, 33-31, and that that was a wild night, just that 4th set. But it seemed like you played a little bit better in that 5-setter than you did last night.
I feel like the girls put a lot of pressure on themselves when we play at home. And I think sometimes I do prefer to play away just because the pressure's off of them and they can just go and they can play. So I don't know if it really matters. I mean, it would be nice to have a home game, but our goal is to win that match. So.
Yeah. And first things first, Red River.
Yes, exactly.
On Thursday night. And what do you expect out of Grand Forks Red River?
all good things.
Yeah.
All good things. And I expect us to do better than what we did yesterday. And we had kind of a tough practice day, but the girls did really well. And I hope we can fix the things we struggled with yesterday and really build off of that.
Don't worry about Devil's Lake until Friday. After the
Yeah.
I mean,
Friday,
you look
yep.
ahead, but you'd still, you've got that last home match. It could be a crucial one for you guys, but you're more
Yep.
worried about what's going to go on here on Thursday night.
Correct.
And it's Grand Forks Red River. Final question for you, Coach. As you look towards these last couple of matches and you're getting ready for the postseason right around the corner, which still I shake my hands like, really? Postseason's already
I know.
here? It's like I thought we just got started. What does this team really need to do to find themselves successful and have a little bit of a run in that postseason?
Be consistent. That, and I feel like I've been saying that for a couple years now because we're not consistent. I think my first year was probably the only year I can say we were truly like consistent. We either were struggling all together in a match or we played really well in a match. And I've noticed the past couple seasons we do 2 things really well in a match and then 2 things not so well. And then the next game we'll flip-flop.
Right.
We'll do those 2 things really well, but then we don't do other things well. So I think just consistency, it needs to be our goal.
Mentally, how are they doing mentally? Is this
I think mentally
good?
we're pretty decent.
Yeah. They know
Besides
they
our
need to
service
do-
errors at crucial times.
Right.
But
yes,
besides that,
exactly.
I think mentally they're pretty tough, but it's just fundamentally we struggle sometimes.
And if you can get this down to here,
Exactly.
you're in good shape.
Yep.
All right. Well, again, Thursday night at Grand Forks Red River. Really, that's the next match. We won't worry about what's going on with Devil's Lake until Devil's Lake. But Coach, good luck tomorrow night here
Thank you.
against the Riders, and let's get one more W at least for this week.
Hopefully for this week, yeah.
All right. Thanks, Coach. Appreciate
Thanks.
it. As Coach Rebecca Erickson joining us from the Highlander volleyball team, we'll be back with more Coach's Corner here from the Hack on the Highlander Activity Network. Back here at Coach's Corner on the Highlander Activity Network, and we move into football. Of course, we were just talking with Coach Erickson. The postseason for volleyball is around the corner. It's here for football. Coming up here on Friday night, Derek Shape and Coach Travis Engen joining us. Gentlemen, how you doing here?
Good.
Nice and breezy out there for practice. Tonight?
Yeah, it was fine. Temperature was in the 40s. It got a little, there's no sun right now, but
Right.
It was fine. It was good.
Derek, we'll start with you. As you get ready now for the second season here on Friday night, what's your mindset as you're going through practice this week and getting ready for Fargo North?
We got to make sure practice is played like a game speed because Fargo North is a really good opponent, and we can't let them work on our mistakes because they catch on to our mistakes. We got to stay solid.
Is it the mentality practice or play as you practice?
Yep.
Or practice as you play? One of the two. I can't remember how that cliche goes. How have you felt Derek Shape has fit in with this year? You're working at that wide receiver spot and working. How have you felt Derek Shape has worked this year?
Pretty good. It's a lot of learning from way faster speed than JV and anything, and there's a lot of jumps, and they catch your mistakes more, so you got to learn quick.
Do you feel you're learning quickly?
Yep.
And then you still got another year, 2 years.
Yep.
left to go here. So we worry about year 2 and 3 coming up. But Coach, with you, Derek has got some wheels on the outside. Do you feel he's utilizing some of that?
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. I mean, teams look out for him now.
Yeah.
He had a great game against Devil's Lake, and then all some people went, okay, we know who he is. And then, like you said, now it's another step up for him.
Yeah.
And so teams are going to double him or show different types of coverages against him, and they're going to bump him off the line and stuff like that. So it's been a step up. It's a learning curve every week, and especially with some of the stuff I throw at these guys at wide receiver to say, okay, now we're doing this and we're doing that. And it looks the same to some people, just in
Right.
the stands, but it's different for the players down below.
And as a guy that kind of a sprinter, a little runner with that speed, having him back on special teams, if he can get that head start,
Yeah.
is that something that's crucial in the game plan?
Oh, without a doubt, without a doubt. Once he gets going, it's going to be tough for anybody to catch him. And so we've been working on it. We haven't broke one yet. It's been close. It's been real close, and it just takes some time and effort.
Well, now as we get ready for Fargo North, we'll just step back to the Central game. What did you feel went right here against Fargo South? Yeah, I got to get it right.
Yeah,
It was South the last game.
yeah.
South Central was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
What did you feel went right against the Bruins?
I think probably it was our best game we played aggressively. We showed up. Offensively and defensively. We were there. South is a good team. There's no doubt about that. But I thought it was our best game aggressively. There's a couple times that we thought we had the ball on a couple of crucial turnovers, and the ball, we didn't get it. And so if those plays go a different way, we're pretty good. But Derek mentioned it earlier. All it takes is one mistake against some really good teams. They scored at the end going into the half, and we were there. It's just that we just got inside, and they went outside on us, and now it's 14-7.
Yeah.
And where another team, we maybe stop that. So, yeah, against South, we dressed 32 guys. We were beat up.
Yeah.
We were
Yeah.
banged up. We started a freshman on D-line. And most teams don't do that, And he did a great job. Hunter Undum, he did a phenomenal job for us, right? But he had a big learning curve, playing JV to varsity to playing a Fargo South team. So we were a little banged up, but I thought our guys showed up. They played the whole game. Got a long pass. That was nice. Jonah Harstead broke a couple on that. That guy was on him. And so it was a great job by Jonah. It really was. He wanted that ball, and he scored. And something we talked to the receivers about that's our ball, and he showed that on that play.
And when you talk about with the moving parts, it's that next guy up kind of mentality. And I know like Jack Dieterle had to go into tight end because you had to move Caleb around. But Jack, 4 catches, 30-something, 38 yards,
Yeah.
something like that. He played pretty well out of that tight end spot.
They really did. They have stepped up. And that's why it's so important to get those young guys some early reps since instead of just throwing them in when we have to, And so Jack wasn't nervous. He knew what to do. I'm sure there were some butterflies in him.
Right.
But he didn't play nervous. He did a great job of catching the ball, and all of a sudden, next thing you know, he had to learn because now they started chipping him. And he's like, well, where'd this come from? Well,
They see you now.
they see you, yeah. And so then it affects everybody. So now all of a sudden he's not as open as he usually is and stuff. So somebody else is. And so that's okay, though. So, yeah, Jack has stepped up. We had young guys. Caleb has stepped up. Corbin has stepped up. Yeah. Everybody's really grown since day one, of course, And so, but that's been I've been saying it all year, it's our attrition, When we're dressing mid-30s for most of the games, and when some of these other teams are bringing in some bigger teams, we play both ways,
Right.
but our guys get tired. They get really tired, and so these young guys got to play.
Derek, with you as a receiver, after a play is run, whether it's a pass, run, however the play is run, you come back to that huddle and say, hey, Bryson, I think I could. Because you hear wide receivers talk about that in the NFL. I always go, they might use some choice words and are a little upset, but no. Do you get that communication with Bryson, you and Jonah or Ethan or Caleb, whoever the receivers are, and talk with them a little bit like that, even when you're on the sidelines?
Yep. If we see something that's open and he doesn't catch it, we'll tell him that's open most of the time. And then if there's other things that we think are open, we can go talk to coach or we can talk to Bryson about maybe trying that play.
That was about my next question. The person that's actually calling the plays, talking with him too. He talked about the young guys, how they progressed. And do you feel too that you've really matured a lot from middle of August when you started to now the middle of October?
Yep. It started with a few mistakes, and we had to work those out, but we've gotten way better now.
Is this one of the, when you talk about speed coach, you can't teach that.
Correct.
And is that nice having, and with Jonah and with Derek, I mean, you got guys that can fly. How nice is that to have that in your back pocket?
Yeah, you need it. I mean, if you want to be a little bit more diverse of throwing the ball and not just always running the ball, you got to have the tools,
right.
And then that's part of that learning curve. What can Derek do? What can Jonah do? And my whole job is to make sure you put them in position to have success. Yeah, we know Derek can run fast, okay, but so do other teams. So I can't just have him run fly routes the whole time. He's got to be able to run some other routes.
Right.
And running routes is crucial. I mean, everybody thinks I'll just go out there and run. But we talk about rounding routes or running them sharp and everything else and where to catch the ball. And those are little things that they've improved since day one. And it doesn't know, he just caught it. No, there was a little more to it than what he did, And so, yeah, the guys really have improved their route running. And it's really nice to see because now we can add in some wrinkles to it instead of just running the 5-6 basic routes. But they got to learn how to walk before they can run, so to speak. So get the basic routes down. And then, we can make some adjustments. We made an adjustment at Devil's Lake that Derek says, hey, I think I can run. Basically it was like a post corner that we hadn't put in yet. And I said, okay, we can do that. All right. And then the one time was a pass interference, and one time he caught the ball. And that was just a halftime adjustment and to one of our other plays, and that's them talking to each other, bringing it up to me, and half the time all the guys, I'm open, we could have ran, and I'm like, yeah, I know.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that. Well, now with Fargo North, now you look at South High, they had two very good running backs.
Yeah.
North, they're more of maybe a one horse with Peter Haugo. So defensively, is this a gap game where you've got to watch those gaps?
Yeah, it always is. But, yeah, Peter's such an excellent runner, right? And, they're going to line him up 10 yards behind, and he's going to pick his holes. So, yeah, it is about being gap sound. It really is, And so our D-line this week has really just said, look, this is what you're going to do, and don't try to be the heroes of making us tackle 8 yards in the backfield. He's got to come to you sooner or later.
Yeah.
And Peter does a really nice job of, looking at different levels. So if all of a sudden I got a couple D linemen chasing him, he's going to make a cut, and then all of a sudden that gap got real big. And so now it's about forming a wall with that D-line.
How about the linebackers? They're going to probably be that second level, as they call it. Yeah. They're going to be very crucial, as well as D-backs.
Yeah, we talked about I've told my linebackers all week, and so has Coach Suffolk, that it's a track meet, right? You got to be able to run left and right, not just going straight ahead. Mm-hmm. And then when you're going straight ahead, remember, it's not. We always say it's not kill shots.
Yeah.
It's tackles, right? And so when we're sending you on a blitz, don't go for the kill shot.
Right.
Just have 5-6 guys tackle Peter. He's a legit running back. It's okay to say he's a legit running back. Yeah. So, yeah, they're going to give him the ball. There's no doubt about it. And they got a Miller boy that's really good. And they got other weapons. And so, but yes, a lot of things go through 36. There's no doubt about it. And their
quarterback, I think, he runs a little bit as well.
Yeah, they'll run a little option, a little bit out of there, So they got a lot of wrinkles. You're going to see them line up in 40 different formations. Right. But their offense goes through 36.
Speaking of wrinkles, the great equalizer could happen on Friday. Weather.
Yeah,
could play a factor in this. Do you, if it snows, do you go, hey, I look forward to playing a little snow? Or what's your thought? Let's just say it might happen. I hate to bring it up, but I'm just saying.
Well, we know who to blame now.
Yeah, it's me. Yes, it always. Okay. Hey, send your cards and letters to me. I'm open to the criticism. But if you get that stuff, Derek, what's your thoughts on something like that?
Yeah, it definitely puts a little wrinkle in it. It makes it a little more challenge. But the last time I played in snow was during the Thunder season years ago, and it was fun, just a little cooler.
Bottom line is they're playing in it too.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's not just, it doesn't snow only on the Valley City sideline.
Right, yeah.
So does that change your mindset, Coach? Or are you like, I'm not going to worry about that. We're going to have a game plan, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, we got a game plan, and that's what we're going to follow. We can't let the outside distractions, and weather's part of it. Now,
right.
40-mile-per-hour winds blowing one way, yeah, there's going to be a little bit of, you got to think, okay, do I want to punt with the wind, against the wind, kick with it? You know, their passing game could be a little, and then we got to throw some shorter routes, whatever it might be. You know, and so that does play into effect a little bit. Defensively, you know, they can't throw the deep ball, just bring more guys up, so to speak. And so it can, you know, but if it's just some snow on the ground, eventually, you know, you just figure it out. The snow doesn't really bother the players too much unless you are playing in a foot or 2 feet of snow. Then it becomes just a sloggy mess, you know. But you know, the snow really does. Players love it, right? And coaches, we just deal with it. You know? That's really what we do. We're not the one who's moving around or anything, so we just deal with the weather.
Well, maybe a touchdown celebration could be a snow angel. Mm-hmm. I don't want to put any thoughts in their head. Travis is like, Paul, quiet, just stop. And I know I asked you this, Travis, with the paper, and then I liked your quote is, last year's game was last year's team.
Yeah.
This is a whole different box of Wheaties.
Yep.
So is that not even a mindset?
Yeah, it's not. It really isn't. Matter of fact, I haven't shown the players any of last year's game film. It's totally different. Our team's totally different. Mm-hmm. Their team is different to a degree. It's different bodies and stuff like that. And so what they're going to, I've watched it numerous times, but, the stuff that they're doing this year, it's similar, but it's different bodies. Mm-hmm. And so they have their different wrinkles and everything else. And, I always say if you're a fisherman, if you're going to fish memories, you're going to, you're not going to catch any fish. So I don't really worry about last year at all. I really don't.
How about for you, Derek, as far as what's going to be a key for you guys to come up with a W on Friday night?
Our defense is going to have to hold and be strong the whole game. And then our offense is going to have to march down the field and use our opportunities we have.
Yeah.
And emotionally, just try to stay high as far and always for 48 minutes. I had to do something.
Yeah. There you did good though. You did good.
Surprised the smoke didn't come out of my ears. But as far as you guys mentally, you guys are ready. You're ready for this test and ready to get after it with the Spartans on Friday night.
Yeah, I think we are. Just keep the energy high, and I think we'll be fine.
And that's really, Coach, has not been a problem with this team this year. No,
it really hasn't. Like I said, that game against South, there was never once that I felt like, oh, geez, the team's done or anything. They never quit. They always feel like we can, let's just keep plugging away, forget about the last play, move on. And they've done a really good job with that. We've dug ourselves some holes, but we'll be okay, and that is, we talk about it all the time. Don't get too high, don't get too low, don't ride the roller coaster, just stay even keel. We've all been there before. We felt every part of a season you can. We've won, we've lost, we've scored on big plays, we've driven the ball all the way down, we've stopped teams, so we felt all the highs and lows, and we've been there. So let's just keep doing it.
It's an exciting time of year when you get into the postseason.
It is. It's really exciting because anything can happen. Everybody's 0-0.
Perfect. Coach, appreciate it. And good luck to you on Friday night. Derek, same to you.
Thank you.
Derek Shape, Travis Singen, coach and player from the Valley City Highlander football team. We'll be back with more of Coach's Corner here from the Hack on the Highlander Activity Network. Back here on Coach's Corner on the Highliner Activity Network on this cloudy Wednesday night. And again, we've got, we just talked about postseason football and postseason volleyball. Well, cross country, they have the postseason coming up this weekend. It is the state cross country meet going on Saturday, and that matter of fact, that's where the cross country team is just wrapping up. They're actually in Jamestown at the Parker's campground, getting a trial run in, if you will, a practice round for the state tournament. Now, because of the pending weather that we were just discussing, Jamestown actually might get hit harder than Valley City if the snow does come. And with that in mind, the North Dakota High School Activity Association has now changed the format. It was going to be Class B on Friday and then Class A on Saturday. Now they're both going to be run on Saturday. The Class A girls will go first at noon, and then the Class A boys will go at 12:45, and then they'll have their awards, or Class B, then they'll have their awards ceremony following that. And then at 4 o'clock, it'll be the Class A girls, and at 4:45, the Class A boys, and then they'll have the awards ceremony following that. And with the girls, of course, we talked about it last week. Regenberg, who's ranked number 1 in the state. The last poll that came out about 2-3 weeks ago, she won the EDC with a personal best time of 18:46. And Bryn Leak, who had a very good EDC, she finished 14th, which moved her into an all-conference position. So Valley City has an outside chance with getting a couple, 2-3 runners in all state. And if that happens, it's been, a couple years ago, Greta Govan was an all-stater in cross country. But if Regenberg could happen to have that real solid meet and win the state championship, it'd be the first state champion cross-country runner that Valley City has had in 21 years. Never have they had a girls state champion in cross country, but Chad Bergen was back-to-back state champ for the boys in 01 and 02, and that was the last time that Valley City has had a state champion in cross country, and it could happen again this weekend, so we'll keep an eye on that. Again, it's all going to be run in one day now. The Class A boys and girls will have the girls be first at noon, and then the B boys will be next at 12:45. And then the Class A girls will be at 4 o'clock, and then the Class A boys will be at 4:45. So that's what's going on this Saturday with the state cross-country meet in Jamestown at the Parkhurst Campground and Pipe Stem Reservoir. We were just talking about football. Just a reminder again, that'll be Friday night, Valley City taking on the Fargo North Spartans. That is a 7 o'clock kickoff in the quarterfinals of the state AA football playoffs. And just taking a look at the other matchups, and we were just discussing this during our last break after Coach got done. AA really is wide open. Of course, Jamestown, two-time defending state champions. They defeated North last year in the state championship game, 46-28. Of course, North defeated Valley City here in Valley City, 30-28 in that opening round game. So a rematch of that one coming up here on Friday night at Fargo North. Dickinson will be taking on West Fargo Horace. Fargo South, they will be hosting Grand Forks Central, and Red River will be hosting Jamestown. That's the quarterfinal round matchup for the state Class AA football playoffs. We'll step aside. We'll come back, and we've got more Coach's Corner coming up here from the Hack on the Highliner Activity Network. Back here on Coach's Corner on the Highlander Activity Network, we're having some fun here tonight with our new setup. And again, shout out our technical director and camera person tonight, Ray Nelson, along with Jaden Johnson joining us this evening. Well, now tennis. It's been about 3 weeks?
Couple weeks, yeah.
About a couple weeks since the tennis season wrapped up. But Matt Nielsen joining us. Appreciate you joining us tonight, and just kind of put a cap, no pun intended, on the Valley City Highlander boys tennis season. A couple of close calls as far as getting into that state individually for the Highlanders. Just your thoughts on the tennis season.
Well, it's a great learning experience for all of our kids, and we've talked that we had all brand new kids this year for varsity minus Miles Taylor, and Miles is a great leader for the year, and everybody grew so much throughout the season, and then coming down at the end of the season. We had a shot to make it to the regional tournament as a team. It was a 2-2. It was a set apiece, about 3-3 in the third, and it was close nail biter, and didn't get it. But I mean, all those are learning experience will help out, because it was a freshman and a sophomore that were in that match. So I mean, it's big moments for young kids, and they're going to keep growing. So I'm excited about that. And then at the individual tournament for regionals, Miles Taylor got a win, and then Kellen Westman and Colin Hoff actually came back from a set down to get a win at the region tournament. Quinn Kruger got a win. So I mean, we had a lot of our guys get a win at the regional tournament, but we didn't make it to state. And then to cap the season off, then what happened was Grand Forks Central won the title, and then they won the singles championship, and then Cheyenne won the doubles championship, and seasons in the books, and already have a couple of them are in a Jamestown doubles league already, so they've already got a couple matches under the belt already in the new league. So right away, turn around and let's play some more tennis.
And that's going to make you very optimistic with with that attitude. They're ready to get after, get ready.
Well, not just, I mean, it wasn't just the league too. It was so about a week afterwards, we had a nice day. So I got done with work. I didn't have any kids in the room. So about 4 o'clock, I headed up to the tennis courts just to do my inventory and get everything organized. And there was 5 boys tennis players out there hitting tennis balls. And I'm like, this is exciting that the season's over, but yet they all love to be out there, hang out together. They love the sport. They love getting better. So I made me really excited.
How important is the off season for tennis, Coach, to get? We have the indoor facility at track in Jamestown that they can go to during the winter months, but during the summer, how important is it to get some tennis in that off season?
In the off season's huge, because we only have a 2-week preseason, and then we go for 5 weeks, and then it's already region. So I mean, for a player to try to really change their technique during season, it's extremely tough. So, and I've already talked to a couple kids. I go, hey, right when summer starts, get a lesson from me, because I tell the kids, you guys give me a text or whatever, and I will come, and I'll always come out and help you, but you got to know what you want to work on, because I say that if I just give you a lesson, you're probably going to go back to your old ways. But if you're like, Coach, my forehand is doing this, I don't like it, then text me, and I will donate my time and come out and help you, and we will work on whatever skill that you want to get better at, because I know you are bought in. So we already have a couple kids that are like, oh, I want to do this and this, and I go, okay, let's go right as soon as the snow's off and you're ready to play some tennis, let's get a lesson right away, so that way you can develop the right habits and then work on that all summer, so that way when boys season comes around, we can work on the things that we can control during season, and a lot of it is doubles. So Valley City, we've been great at doubles because that's something you can really work on in season, and that's things we want to work on, is the things we can control. We hope that you got a solid foundation and you're ready to go skill wise before season, and then we can teach strategy, double strategy, the mental side during season.
And you had a lot of young guys, and when I mean young, I mean 5th and 6th grade. That next year, when they're those 6th graders and they're 7th graders, it's going to be maybe an influx of some youth into this squad next year.
It is going to be a lot of fun, because we had our 5th and 6th graders actually worked with us for the first 2 weeks in the evening. So we just did some elementary tennis, and those kids came up and they're like, wow, we can compete at the JV level. So they were already competing very well with our 7th, 8th, 9th, and some 10th graders as 5th and 6th graders. So they're excited to come up. And yeah, we have a crew of 6th graders that are probably going to have 5 or 6 of them, and they're all hungry and they love to play. So they're coming up, and our 5th graders are the same. We got 3 or 4 in there that already are extremely skilled, and probably the most skilled we've had at that age. So it's really exciting to see the not just our varsity. They're going to keep getting better, but we're going to keep filling the ranks from underneath too. So we're going to be a strong program here for many years to come.
Well, now since the boys' season is done and you've got the winter months coming, March and April can't get here fast enough to get the girls' season going here. But a lot of optimism. I will kind of scrape the surface. A lot of optimism with this girls' team.
Well, a lot of optimism, but yeah, we have a long time to go. So as you know, I have a couple daughters they're finishing off volleyball. They got all the basketball season, so it's a while till that girls' tennis season. So I'm excited to just watch Highland athletics. I love coming out and watching the wrestlers. I've hoped Valley City gets a home play-in volleyball match, so I can come and support them there. So and then basketball should be a heck of a lot of fun with the 3-class system. So I'm really excited for Highlander activities all winter long, and then going into the spring. We got everybody back from last year, and last year we were the EDC regular season champs. We get everyone back except for Abby Redfern. She's going to graduate early, and she's just a great kid. She came and talked to me and said, "Hey, Coach, I'm thinking on doing this." And the first thing I said is, "You got to make the decision what's right for you, and you can't feel like you're letting anybody down because you have to make the right decision." And I go, "You know what? There's always injuries. There's always other reasons why people aren't there. So don't do it on that." And she worked with her family, worked with everybody, and except she's going to graduate early. So I'm excited for her because she's a phenomenal kid. She's a very bright kid, and she's going to do great things. She's going to BYU, and at January, whatever the spring semester starts, but she's going to be there, and she's going to be fabulous there. So we are down Abby Redfern, but we have a few extra coming up. So Ella Olson practiced with us all year long last year, so she was our number 8. So she's ready to slide in. I mean, and we have younger ones coming up too. One name that comes to my mind is Sarah Byerly. She's an 8th grader this year that has progressed nicely. So I mean, it's always next person up, like every sport says. So hopefully we can work hard in the off season here and make another run next season.
You're going to be reffing some basketball games?
Oh, I am in a ref. So and with Jim McDaniel taking on that head one, he reffed a lot. So my schedule kind of got a little more full of ref and basketball. But it kind of looks like I'm going to be doing a lot of basketball because the boys are doing a lot of Tuesday, Fridays, and the girls are doing a lot of Monday, Thursdays. And I said, I'll ref 7th through JV girls. I'm not going to ref the varsity girls, and I don't ref varsity boys here in town either. So I'll do that in town, but when my girls are away, I'm not going to be reffing. Well, that means that there's going to be a lot of Tuesdays and Friday boys games that they're going to say, "Oh, you don't have that blacked out, so you're going to be reffing a lot of boys games." So I'm excited. I really enjoy officiating, and for anybody out there who's watching, we need officials, just like you've probably heard. We need bus drivers.
Yep, we're still looking for that.
We're still looking for bus drivers. We need a lot of officials. Like we need you for football because a lot of football games are now getting like shifted, so that way you can't play them all on Friday night because there's not enough officials. You got to play some on Saturday.
Yep.
So we need football officials, basketball officials. People are overworked. And we'd love to, if you have an interest, we'd love to have you so you can. I'm going to throw Mr. Hunt under the bus and just go, hey, if you're interested in it, you can go on the website and email Mr. Hunt, and Mr. Hunt will probably be like, thanks, Matt, and he'll forward the email to me.
And then
so if you can find me, I'd help you out. But I mean, it might be easiest just to. Whatever you can find on the website to email and say, hey, I'd like to try officiating, because we'd really set you up for success, because we would put you in the 7th and 8th grade realm first, and we put you with an experienced official, and we teach you the mechanics, teach you the game, start getting you into the rule book. So I mean, we don't set you up for failure, and we don't put you to the wolves. It's let's develop you, and when you're ready for the next level, then we put you there. So, but would love to have anybody who has any interest in officiating to come out and officiate with us.
Absolutely. I mean, they are always looking for officials. Well, Matt, appreciate you joining us here tonight, and look forward to seeing you in the gym, whether you're in the stands watching or down on the floor running back and forth chasing these kids. We appreciate it.
All right, thank you. Appreciate it.
You bet. Coach Matt Nielsen from Highlander Tennis, and we'll be back to wrap things up here. Coach's Corner from the Hack on the Highlander Activity Network. Back here on Coach's Corner on the Highlander Activity Network, wrapping up our show tonight here on this Wednesday evening. And again, here's what's coming up on the Highlander Activity Network next Tuesday, the final volleyball match, regular season. Volleyball match on Tuesday. Devils Lake will be in town. And, of course, 4:30 with C Squad and for freshmen. 5:45 for the JV and the varsity at 7 o'clock. Next Wednesday, it's already the 1st of November. And we will have Coach's Corner coming up here 1 week from tonight on November 1st. Those are the next things coming up. And then we're going to have a little bit of a lull with sports because it'll be about 2-3 weeks before we get into the winter sports season. Hate to say it, but yeah, winter sports season not too far away. Want to thank our guests joining us here tonight, Coach Rebecca Erickson from Highlander Volleyball, and Coach Travis Engen and Derek Shape from Highlander Football, and of course Coach Matt Nielsen joining us from Highlander Tennis. And of course, as usual, you guys watching us here live on YouTube, and of course, if you watch us also on the archive, just go to YouTube and search Valley City Highlander Athletics or Valley City Highlander Activities, and we've got everything on there live and archived, and you can enjoy them on over and over and over. Again, thanks to Ray Nelson and Jaden Johnson joining us tonight as our technical director and camera people, and we will be back again next Wednesday night, 6 o'clock, Coach's Corner, here from the Hack on the Highlander Activity Network.